Welcome to MetaCodex. Today we unlock sacred geometry and ancient patterns. And three more amazing parts. In the next 40 minutes, we will open higher levels of awareness for you.
Have you ever wondered if the universe speaks a secret language? A code hidden in plain sight, whispering its mysteries through the spirals of a seashell or the dance of subatomic particles? Picture a young girl, her eyes wide with wonder as she twirls a pine cone in her small hands. She doesn't know it yet, but she's holding a key to unlocking the cosmos. As our curious child grows, she begins to notice patterns everywhere. The arrangement of petals on a sunflower, the branching of trees, even the way galaxies swirl in the night sky. There's a rhythm to it all, a mathematical melody playing just beyond her perception. The spiral of a nautilus shell, the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the family tree of honeybees, all following this golden ratio, proportion, derived from the Fibonacci sequence that is approximately 1.61821. It is as if the very fabric of reality is woven with these numbers. But why? What cosmic draftsman drew up these blueprints? Our now adult researcher ponders this as she gazes through a microscope, watching electrons dance around an atom's nucleus, and here in the realm of the infinitesimally small, she stumbles upon another layer of the mystery. Quantum mechanics, that mind-bending branch of physics, reveals particles arranging themselves into geometric patterns. Electrons don't just orbit randomly. They form shells and subshells, each with a distinct shape. Tetrahedrons, octahedrons, icosahedrons, the building blocks of matter itself, seem to follow sacred geometric forms. As she zooms out from the atomic to the cosmic, our scientist begins to see these same shapes repeated: the tetrahedral arrangement of methane molecules, the hexagonal storm at Saturn's North Pole, the dodecahedron. Some theorize might describe the shape of the universe itself. It's as if geometry is a first language, a primordial code that bridges the gap between the physical and the metaphysical. The ancient Greeks knew this. Plato believed geometric forms were the fundamental building blocks of reality. Indigenous cultures across the globe incorporated sacred geometry into their art and spirituality. But what does it all mean? Is the universe truly built on mathematical principles, or are we simply pattern-seeking creatures, finding meaning where there is none? Our protagonist ponders this as she traces her finger along the spiral of a fern frond, feeling a connection to something greater than herself. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. These patterns, these sacred shapes, might be signposts pointing towards a deeper understanding of reality. They're not the destination, but rather the first steps on a journey into the heart of existence itself. As night falls, our scientist gazes up at the star-studded sky. The Milky Way arches overhead, its spiral arms echoing the same golden ratio found in the tiniest shell. She feels small, yet connected to it all. The boundary between observer and observed blurs, and for a moment she glimpses the underlying unity of all things. But this is not the end of her quest, it's merely the beginning. For every answer uncovered, 1,000 new questions arise. Why does the golden ratio appear so frequently? What fundamental forces shape these geometric patterns? And most tantalizingly, what lies beyond the patterns we can perceive? The universe, it seems, is an endless nested fractal, each layer revealing new complexities. Our journey into this cosmic labyrinth has only just begun. As you ponder these mysteries, dear viewer, what patterns do you see in your own life? What hidden geometries might be shaping your reality just beyond the edge of awareness? Look closely at a leaf, a crystal, or even the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower. Let your mind wander through the spirals and symmetries, for in contemplating these ancient patterns, we might just catch a glimpse of the grand design and our place within it. Remember the wonder of that child with the pine cone? Perhaps that sense of that intuitive recognition of something profound is our truest guide in unraveling the mysteries of existence. So go forth, explore, and let the sacred geometry of the universe reveal itself to you, one golden spiral at a time. As the sun sets on our journey through sacred geometry and ancient patterns, we're left not with concrete answers, but with a deepened sense of mystery. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, and quantum geometries are like breadcrumbs leading us deeper into the labyrinth of reality. Imagine for a moment the universe as a vast tapestry. The threads of mathematics, physics, and consciousness interweave in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. Each discovery is like pulling on a loose thread, unraveling new layers of complexity and beauty. But what if these patterns are more than just interesting coincidences? What if they're a form of cosmic communication, a way for the universe to hint at its true nature? Ancient cultures certainly thought so. From the pyramids of Egypt to the mandalas of Tibet, sacred geometry has been used as a tool for spiritual enlightenment and understanding the divine. Modern science, too, is beginning to recognize the profound implications of these universal patterns. Some physicists speculate that geometry itself might be more fundamental than particles or fields, that the shapes and symmetries we observe could be the deepest layer of reality from which everything else emerges. As our protagonist's day comes to a close, she sits in quiet contemplation. The golden spiral of a nautilus shell rests in her palm, a tangible connection to the infinite. She closes her eyes and imagines herself shrinking, diving into the microscopic world of atoms and beyond. In her mind's eye, she sees electrons whirling in there. Quantum dance, forming momentary geometric patterns before dissolving back into probability waves. She zooms out, watching as molecules assemble themselves into crystals, following the same sacred ratios found in galaxy formations. Further and further she goes, until the entire universe is visible as a single pulsating geometric form. Is this the true nature of reality? A grand cosmic fractal, repeating its patterns at every scale? Or is it simply the limits of human perception, our minds desperately seeking order in the chaos? The truth, perhaps, lies beyond our current understanding. But that's the beauty of science and philosophy. There's always another layer to peel back, another mystery to explore. As our scientist opens her eyes, she feels a renewed sense of purpose. The journey is far from over, and so, dear viewer, we leave you with a challenge. Look at the world around you with fresh eyes. Seek out the hidden geometries in nature, in art, in the very structure of your thoughts. What patterns emerge? What connections reveal themselves? Remember, the greatest scientific discoveries often begin with a simple observation, a moment of childlike wonder, that pine cone from the beginning of our story. It might just hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. As you go about your day, let the awareness of these sacred patterns infuse your perception. Notice the spiral of water going down a drain, the branching of veins in a leaf, the hexagonal cells of a beehive. Each is a reminder that we are part of something greater, a cosmic dance choreographed by forces we're only beginning to understand. Who knows? Your observations, your questions might be the spark that ignites the next great breakthrough in our understanding of reality. For in the end, we are all explorers on this grand journey of discovery, each of us holding a piece of the cosmic puzzle. So go forth with curiosity, with wonder, and with the knowledge that every pattern you observe is a glimpse into the very heart of existence. The universe is speaking to us through sacred geometry and ancient patterns. Are you ready to listen?
Next, discover the frequency of reality. How sound shapes everything we know.
What if the very fabric of our reality is woven from an invisible symphony? A cosmic melody so profound it shapes the stars, the trees, and even our own thoughts? From the dawn of human consciousness, we've sensed a hidden rhythm pulsing through existence. Ancient creation myths speak of primordial sounds birthing the universe. In Hinduism, the sacred syllable Om resonates as the first vibration of creation. Abrahamic traditions describe the word of God speaking reality into being, and in Greek philosophy, the concept of logos represents the divine reason ordering the cosmos. Picture a metal plate covered in fine sand. As a violin bow is drawn across its edge, something magical happens. The sand begins to dance, forming intricate geometric patterns. These aren't random, they're precise mathematical shapes, each corresponding to a specific frequency. This is cymatics, the science of visible sound. For most of us, this idea might seem far-fetched. We're used to thinking of reality as solid, fixed, but quantum physics tells a different story. At the tiniest scales, everything is in constant motion, more like vibrating strings than solid particles. Scientists are exploring how specific frequencies can influence matter, from using sound waves to levitate small objects to studying how certain vibrations can alter the growth patterns of cells. The implications are staggering. Could we one day tune reality itself? For those drawn to life's deeper mysteries, this concept opens up profound questions. If consciousness itself is a kind of frequency, could we learn to harmonize with the universe's grand symphony? Ancient mystics spoke of achieving enlightenment through sacred chants and mantras. Were they tapping into something fundamental about the nature of reality? But let's bring this cosmic dance down to earth for a moment. Think about how music affects you. A pulsing beat can get your body moving without you even realizing it. A mournful melody can bring tears to your eyes. We instinctively know that sound has power over us. Now imagine that power amplified to the scale of the entire cosmos. What if the planets in their orbits are like notes in a vast celestial song? What if the very atoms in your body are humming along to this universal tune? Even if we can't hear it, we might be feeling its effects all the time. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the vibe was off? Or found yourself inexplicably uplifted in certain places in nature? What if we're unconsciously picking up on these subtle frequencies? Researchers are exploring how specific sound frequencies might be used for healing. From reducing chronic pain to potentially breaking up cancer cells, the therapeutic potential of targeted vibrations is an exciting frontier in medicine. Some spiritual traditions teach that by aligning our own inner frequency through meditation or chanting, we can tune into higher states of consciousness. Could mastering our personal vibration be a key to unlocking human potential? The idea that reality is fundamentally musical isn't new. Pythagoras, the ancient Greek mathematician, believed the movements of celestial bodies created a cosmic harmony he called the music of the spheres. While we can't literally hear planets singing, modern astrophysicists have discovered that stars do vibrate, producing sound waves, though far too low for human ears. Imagine for a moment that you could hear this cosmic orchestra. Picture swirling galaxies emitting deep, resonant tones. Visualize the sun's corona crackling with fiery melodies. Even the seemingly empty vacuum of space might be filled with the faintest whisper of quantum fluctuations. While we can't directly experience this celestial symphony, its echoes might be all around us. The golden ratio, a mathematical proportion found throughout nature, from seashells to spiral galaxies, could be seen as a visual representation of harmonic frequencies. Scientists are developing increasingly sensitive instruments to detect gravitational waves ripples in the very fabric of space-time. Could these be the bass notes in the universe's grand composition? For the philosophically inclined, this raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If everything is vibration, where does one note end and another begin? Are we all just temporary patterns in an infinite sea of cosmic music? But let's zoom back into our daily lives. How might this understanding change the way we see the world? Could learning to tune into subtle frequencies enhance our intuition, our creativity, our connection to others? Imagine walking through a forest, not just seeing the trees, but sensing the intricate web of vibrational communication between plants, or picture yourself in a crowded room, able to feel the emotional resonance of those around you like different instruments in an orchestra. Even if we can't develop superhuman senses, simply being aware of this hidden dimension of reality might change how we interact with the world. Could we learn to be more intentional about the vibes we put out, knowing they ripple through the fabric of existence? As our understanding of the vibrational nature of reality grows, we might develop new technologies based on manipulating these subtle energies. Imagine buildings designed to resonate with healing frequencies, or communication devices that work by directly modulating the quantum field. For those on a spiritual path, this perspective offers a new way to conceptualize the interconnectedness of all things. If we're all part of the same cosmic song, how does that change our understanding of compassion, of oneness, of our place in the universe? As we ponder these mind-bending ideas, it's important to remember that true understanding often leads to more questions than answers. The more we learn about the hidden music of reality, the more mysterious and inspiring our universe becomes. So the next time you hear a beautiful piece of music or feel the beat of your own heart, take a moment to wonder, what greater symphony might you be a part of? What cosmic melodies are shaping your life in ways you can't yet perceive? And perhaps most importantly, what unique note are you adding to the grand composition of existence? Have you ever wondered if the universe is singing a hidden song, shaping our very existence? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world where every atom, every particle, every thought is vibrating in perfect harmony. What if I told you that this isn't just a fanciful idea, but a concept deeply rooted in both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science? Welcome to a journey through the frequency of reality, where we'll explore the invisible rhythms that orchestrate our universe, from the tiniest subatomic particles to the vast expanses of cosmic space. Everything vibrates at its own unique frequency. But what does this mean for us, the conscious observers of this grand symphony? Let's start by diving into the fascinating world of brainwave frequencies. Our brains, those marvelous organs that give rise to our consciousness, are constantly humming with electrical activity. These neural oscillations, or brain waves, change depending on our state of mind. When we're deep in slumber, our brains pulse with slow delta waves, like the gentle lapping of waves on a moonlit shore as we drift. Into dreams, theta waves take over, painting vivid landscapes in our mind's eye. But it's not just about sleep. When we're relaxed yet alert, perhaps enjoying a good book or meditating, our brains produce alpha waves, creating a serene mental state that feels like a warm, comforting blanket. And when we're fully engaged in a task, solving problems or creating art, beta waves dominate, crackling with the electricity of focused thought. These brainwave states aren't just abstract concepts, they are measurable phenomena that scientists can observe and even influence. Imagine a future where we could tune our brains like instruments, adjusting our mental state to achieve peak performance or deep relaxation at will. What kind of world would that create? Now let ease shift our focus to a controversy that has been buzzing in the music world for decades, the 432 Hz versus 440 Hz debate. To the uninitiated, this might sound like a trivial difference, but to many musicians and sound healers, it's a battle for the soul of music itself. Picture two tuning forks, one vibrating at 432 Hz and the other at 440 Hz. The 440 Hz fork has been the standard pitch for tuning instruments since the mid-20th century. But proponents of 432 Hz argue that this lower frequency is more in tune with nature, more pleasing to the ear, and even potentially healing. They claim that 432 Hz resonates with the golden ratio and the rhythms of the natural world. Some even go so far as to say it can affect our DNA and cellular structure. Skeptics, of course, dismiss these ideas as pseudoscience, but regardless of where you stand on this debate, it raises an intriguing question. Can the frequencies we expose ourselves to influence our well-being on a fundamental level? As we ponder this, let's take a moment to visualize sound waves rippling through the air, invisible yet powerful. Imagine these waves interacting with our bodies, our environment, perhaps even the fabric of reality itself. What hidden harmonies might we discover if we could perceive these subtle vibrations? This brings us to a pivotal idea: frequencies as the pulse of the universal code. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, we might start to see patterns emerging. From the oscillations of quantum particles to the rotation of galaxies, from the beating of our hearts to the cycles of nature, everything seems to pulse with its own unique rhythm. Could it be that these frequencies are more than just physical phenomena? What if they're the very language of the universe, a cosmic code that underlies all of existence? Ancient mystics and modern physicists alike have pondered the idea that reality itself might be a kind of vibration, a dance of energy and information. Think about it. When we speak, we're creating sound waves that carry meaning. When we use technology, we're manipulating electromagnetic frequencies to transmit data, even our thoughts. And emotions seem to have their own energetic signatures. Could all of these be different expressions of the same underlying principle? As we delve deeper into this rabbit hole, we start to encounter some mind-bending questions. If reality is fundamentally vibrational, what does that mean for our understanding of consciousness? Are we merely complex patterns of frequency, temporarily coalesced into human form? Or are we the conductors of this grand symphony, shaping reality through our perceptions and intentions? And what about the spaces between the notes, the silences that give music its structure and meaning? In quantum physics, we find the concept of the vacuum state, a seeming emptiness that's actually teeming with potential energy. Could the quiet moments in our lives, the pauses between thoughts, be similarly pregnant with possibility? As we approach the end of our journey, let's take a moment to zoom out and contemplate the vastness of the cosmos. Imagine the entire universe as a giant instrument, each galaxy a string, each star a note in an incomprehensibly complex composition. What kind of music would it make? And more importantly, what part are we playing in this cosmic orchestra? The frequency of reality is not just a scientific concept or a philosophical musing. It is an invitation to see the world with new eyes and listen with new ears. It challenges us to question our assumptions about the nature of existence and our place within it. It beckons us to tune into the subtle harmonies that surround us every day. So the next time you hear a beautiful piece of music, feel the rhythm of your own heartbeat, or gaze up at the starry sky, remember that you are not just an observer of this grand symphony, you are an integral part of it. What frequencies are you resonating with? What hidden melodies are you contributing to the song of the universe? As we close this exploration, we're left with more questions than answers. But perhaps that's the point. The mystery of existence isn't something to be solved, but to be experienced, to be danced with, to be sung. So I invite you to keep listening, keep questioning, and keep vibrating in harmony with the great unknown, who knows what wonders you might discover in the frequency of reality.
Now we journey into time, the invisible architecture guiding our universe.
What if time is not a straight line, but a spiral code looping through eternity? Picture this, you're standing at the edge of a vast cosmic whirlpool, watching as the fabric of reality twists and turns in an endless dance. The seconds, minutes, and years we've grown accustomed to measuring suddenly dissolve into a fluid stream of experiences, memories, and possibilities. As children, we've all felt it, those endless summer days that stretched on forever, each moment brimming with wonder and potential. But as we grow older, time seems to accelerate, slipping through our fingers like grains of sand. Why does our perception of time change so dramatically as we age? Is it merely a trick of our minds, or could it be hinting at a deeper truth about the nature of reality itself? To unravel this mystery, let's embark on a journey through time not as a linear progression, but as a spiraling tapestry woven by countless civilizations throughout history. Ancient cultures, from the mystical Mayans to the enigmatic Egyptians and the profound Vedic sages, all shared a common thread in their understanding of time. They saw it as cyclical, eternally repeating yet ever-changing. Imagine standing atop a great Mayan pyramid, your eyes fixed on the intricate stone calendar before you. Its concentric circles and repeating patterns speak of a time beyond our modern conception, a time where past, present, and future dance in an eternal embrace. The Mayan long count calendar, with its vast cycles spanning thousands of years, whispers of cosmic rhythms far beyond our fleeting human lives. Now picture yourself in the shadow of the Great Sphinx, its weathered face a silent witness to millennia of Egyptian history. The ancient Egyptians, too, saw time as a circular journey, embodied in the daily rebirth of the sun god Ra and the annual flooding of the life-giving Nile. Their calendar, like a cosmic clock, ticked to the rhythm of stellar movements and earthly cycles. Halfway across the world, in the misty valleys of ancient India, Vedic philosophers pondered the nature of time on an even grander scale. They spoke of vast cosmic cycles called yugas, each spanning thousands of years, forming an intricate dance of creation, preservation, and dissolution. In their vision, our linear perception of time was but a fleeting illusion, Maya obscuring the true cyclical nature of existence. But why did these ancient cultures, separated by vast distances and eras, all converge on this cyclical view of time? Could they have tapped into a fundamental truth about the universe that we've forgotten in our modern linear world? Consider the cycles that surround us every day, the turning of the earth, the phases of the moon, the passing of seasons. Even our own bodies pulse with circadian rhythms and hormonal cycles. What if these observable patterns are merely echoes of a greater cosmic cycle, one that spirals through dimensions beyond our perception? Quantum physics, that realm of mind-bending possibilities, offers us tantalizing clues. At the subatomic level, particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, only collapsing into a single reality when observed. Could our experience of time be similarly fluid, only appearing linear due to the limitations of our consciousness? Imagine time as a vast spiral staircase, each step a moment, a possibility. From our limited perspective, we see only the steps immediately before and after us, the past and the future. But what if we could zoom out and see the entire staircase? We might discover that what seemed like separate moments are actually connected, looping back on themselves in intricate patterns. This spiral model of time could explain phenomena that have long puzzled scientists and philosophers alike. Those uncanny moments of familiarity in new situations might be glimpses of other points on the spiral intersecting with our current experience. Precognitive dreams and intuitions could be our consciousness briefly tapping into the vast web of interconnected moments. But if time is indeed a spiral, what does that mean for our understanding of cause and effect, of free will and destiny? Are our choices truly our own, or are they predetermined by the shape of the spiral? Or perhaps, in a universe of infinite possibilities, every choice creates a new branch, a new spiral intertwining with countless others. The implications of this spiral time model extend far beyond philosophy. Imagine the technological possibilities if we could learn to navigate this temporal spiral. Could we find ways to communicate across different points in time, not through crude time machines, but by understanding the inherent connections between moments? As we ponder these mind-bending possibilities, it's worth remembering that our linear perception of time has served us well in many ways. It's allowed us to build civilizations, develop technologies, and create systems of knowledge. But what if it's also limiting us, blinding us to the greater rhythms and patterns of the cosmos? Perhaps the key lies in finding a balance, embracing the practical linearity of our day-to-day lives while remaining open to the cyclical, spiral nature of a deeper reality. By doing so, we might tap into wells of creativity, intuition, and understanding that have long been dormant. As we come full circle in our exploration, we're left with more questions than answers. But isn't that the beauty of true discovery? Each revelation opens doors to new mysteries, inviting us to dive deeper into the enigma of existence. So the next time you feel the rush of time slipping away, pause for a moment, close your eyes, and imagine yourself as part of that great cosmic spiral. Feel the connections between past, present, and future flowing through you, and ask yourself, what if this moment right now is not just a point on a line, but a gateway to eternity? In the end, the true nature of time may remain elusive, forever dancing just beyond the reach of our understanding. But in our quest to unravel its mysteries, we may discover something even more valuable, a deeper appreciation for the intricate, interconnected tapestry of existence itself. As we stand at the threshold of new discoveries and expanding consciousness, one question echoes through the spirals of time. Are you ready to step beyond the illusion of linear time and embrace the infinite possibilities of the cosmic dance? What if time is not a straight line, but a spiral code looping through eternity? Picture this: you're standing on a beach, watching the waves crash against the shore. Each wave seems unique, yet part of an endless cycle. Now imagine that time flows like these waves, not in a linear path, but in a cosmic dance of repetition and variation. We've all been taught that time marches forward, relentlessly and unchangingly. But what if this common perception is just a tiny fragment of a much grander design? What if the very fabric of our reality is woven from threads of time that twist and turn, creating patterns we've yet to fully comprehend? Einstein's theory of relativity shattered our notion of time as an absolute constant. He showed us that time can stretch and compress, depending on how fast you're moving or how close you are to a massive object. Imagine two twins. One stays on Earth, while the other embarks on a journey through space at near light speed. When the spacefaring twin returns, they'll find their Earth-bound sibling has aged much more. Time, it seems, is not as rigid as we once thought, but modern physics takes us even further down the rabbit hole. Some theories suggest that time itself might be an illusion, a construct of our consciousness rather than a fundamental aspect of the universe. The block universe theory proposes that past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, like a cosmic flipbook where all the pages are already drawn. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, we might see time not as a straight line from past to future, but as a spiraling code that loops through eternity. Imagine a DNA helix, but instead of genetic information, it carries the very essence of existence, every moment, every possibility, every timeline intertwined in a cosmic dance. But here's where it gets really interesting. If time is indeed a code, could it be programmable? What if our destiny isn't set in stone, but written in a language we're only beginning to decipher? Think about it. Just as we have learned to manipulate the genetic code to cure diseases and enhance crops, if we could someday learn to hack the time code, could we rewrite our past, sculpt our future, or even create entirely new timelines? The implications are mind-boggling. Would we become the architects of our own reality, shaping the very fabric of existence to our will? Or would such power come with unforeseen consequences, rippling through the timescape in ways we can't predict? As we ponder these questions, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty and mystery of time itself. Close your eyes and visualize the spiral of time, a shimmering, ever-changing tapestry of moments, each one unique yet connected to all others. See how events from the past echo into the future, how choices made now send ripples backward and forward through the spiral. Feel the rhythm of this cosmic dance, the pulse of existence itself, beating through every atom of your being. But as we marvel at this grand design, we must also ask ourselves, what is our role in this cosmic ballet? Are we merely observers, carried along by the currents of time? Or are we active participants, co-creators of reality itself? Perhaps the answer lies not in controlling time, but in understanding our place within it. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all moments, we might learn to move through life with greater purpose and awareness. Imagine if we could see the echoes of our actions reverberating through the time spiral. How might it change the way we treat others, knowing that a single act of kindness could create positive ripples that touch countless lives across the timescape? And what about the concept of free will in this new paradigm? If all moments exist simultaneously in the spiral, does that mean our choices are predetermined? Or does the very complexity of the time code allow for infinite possibilities, each decision branching off into new timelines? These questions lead us to even deeper mysteries. If time is indeed a spiral code, who or what wrote it? Are we living in a cosmic simulation, our reality programmed by some unfathomable intelligence? Or is the time code a natural phenomenon emerging from the fundamental laws of the universe? As we grapple with these mind-bending concepts, it's important to remember that our understanding of time is still in its infancy. Just as our ancestors once believed the Earth was flat, our current perception of time may be limited by our current knowledge and technology. What new discoveries await us as we delve deeper into the nature of time? Will we develop instruments capable of detecting the subtle fluctuations in the time code? Might we one day be able to zoom out and perceive the entire spiral of existence, gaining a God's eye view of reality itself? The possibilities are as endless as time itself, but for now we remain explorers on the frontier of understanding, peering into the depths of existence and marveling at the mysteries we find there. So the next time you check your watch or mark a date on your calendar, take a moment to consider the greater context. Remember that you are not just moving through time, but dancing within it, a vital part of the cosmic spiral that connects all moments, all possibilities, all realities. And as we continue to unravel the secrets of time, let's approach the journey with wonder, humility, and an open mind. For in seeking to understand the invisible architecture of time, we may just discover profound truths about ourselves and our place in the universe. What if the key to unlocking the mysteries of time lies not in some distant future technology, but within our own consciousness? What if, by expanding our awareness and perception, we could learn to navigate the spiral code of time, tapping into the infinite potential that exists in every moment? As we stand on the threshold of these incredible possibilities, one thing becomes clear: our journey to understand time is really a journey to understand ourselves and our place in the cosmos. And in that understanding, we may find not just knowledge, but wisdom, purpose, and perhaps even a glimpse of eternity. So, dear explorer of time and space, what will you do with this moment, this precious point in the spiral where all possibilities converge? How will you shape your thread in the grand tapestry of existence? The choice, as always, is yours, and in that choice lies the true magic of time, the power to create, to transform, and to become.
Step deeper into consciousness, the hidden dimension within us, all dot. You will soon be amazed.
What if your brain isn't the source of your thoughts, but merely a receiver? Picture a radio tuning into a mysterious broadcast from an unseen dimension. This isn't science fiction, it's a question that has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. The debate between mind and brain has raged on, with materialists arguing that consciousness is nothing more than the firing of neurons, while others suggest a more profound origin. But what if both sides are missing a crucial piece of the puzzle? Let's dive deeper into this cosmic conundrum. Our brains, these intricate networks of billions of neurons, have long been thought to be the wellspring of our consciousness. But consider this, when you're dreaming, where exactly are those vivid landscapes and characters coming from? Your eyes are closed, your body is still, yet entire worlds unfold within your mind. This brings us to some of the most intriguing phenomena that challenge our understanding of consciousness: near-death experiences, lucid dreams, and psychedelic visions. These states of altered consciousness seem to transcend the physical limitations of our brains, offering glimpses into realms beyond our everyday perception. Take near-death experiences, for instance. People who have been clinically dead for brief periods often report remarkably similar experiences: a sense of leaving their body, traveling through a tunnel of light, and encountering deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. How can a brain that's shutting down produce such vivid and consistent experiences? Lucid dreams present another fascinating puzzle. In these dreams, the dreamer becomes aware they're dreaming and can often control the dream environment. It's as if the consciousness has separated from the sleeping brain, observing and directing the dream from an external vantage point. But if consciousness is simply a product of brain activity, how can it achieve this level of self-awareness and control while the brain is in a sleep state? And then there are psychedelic experiences. Substances like DMT can induce profound alterations in consciousness, with users reporting encounters with seemingly autonomous entities and journeys to alternate dimensions. These experiences often feel more real than everyday reality, leaving a lasting impact on the individual's worldview and sense of self. But how can a chemical reaction in the brain produce experiences that seem to transcend the physical world entirely? These phenomena challenge the notion that consciousness is merely a byproduct of brain activity. They suggest that perhaps our brains are more like antennas, receiving and processing consciousness from an external source rather than generating it internally. This idea isn't new. Eastern mysticism has long held that our individual consciousness, or Atman, is part of a greater universal consciousness. Many traditions speak of a higher self, an aspect of our being that exists beyond the physical realm and is the true source of our awareness. But how can we reconcile these ancient wisdom traditions with modern scientific understanding? What if consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism? Just as our eyes detect light and our ears pick up sound waves, perhaps our brains have evolved to tune into this cosmic consciousness field. This perspective could explain why consciousness seems so elusive to scientific study. We have been looking for it in the wrong place, searching inside the brain when it might actually permeate the entire cosmos. It's like trying to find the source of a radio broadcast by dissecting the radio itself. If this is true, it raises profound questions about the nature of reality and our place in it. Are we separate individuals, or are we all expressions of a single unified consciousness? What happens to our individual awareness when our physical bodies die? Could there be levels of consciousness beyond what we currently experience, waiting to be discovered? The implications of this idea are staggering. It suggests that our current understanding of reality is just the tip of the iceberg. What if our everyday waking consciousness is just one channel on a vast spectrum of awareness? What other states of being might be possible if we could learn to tune our brains to different frequencies? This concept also challenges our notions of identity and free will. If our thoughts and experiences are being received rather than generated, who or what is the self that we identify with? Are our choices truly our own, or are we acting out a cosmic script broadcast from some higher dimension? As we ponder these questions, it's important to remember that we're still in the early stages of understanding consciousness. Just as our ancestors once believed the Earth was flat and the sun revolved around us, our current models of consciousness may be limited by our perspective. The journey to unravel the mystery of consciousness is ongoing, and it requires us to keep an open mind. We must be willing to challenge our assumptions and explore new possibilities, even if they seem outlandish at first. So the next time you have a thought, pause for a moment. Where did that thought come from? Is it truly yours, or are you tuning into a signal from a hidden dimension of reality? The answer may be more profound than we can imagine. As we continue to explore the frontiers of consciousness, we are not just uncovering the secrets of our minds, we are potentially discovering the very nature of existence itself. And in this cosmic quest, every question we ask brings us one step closer to understanding our place in the universe. What if the greatest mystery isn't out there in the stars, but right here within the depths of our own awareness? What if consciousness isn't just a product of evolution, but the very fabric of reality itself? These are the questions that will guide us as we venture into the uncharted territories of the mind, seeking to unlock the hidden dimensions of consciousness. What if your brain isn't the source of your consciousness, but merely a receiver? Picture a radio tuning into a signal from an unseen dimension. This isn't science fiction, it's a question that's puzzling neuroscientists and philosophers alike. For centuries, we've assumed that our thoughts, feelings, and awareness originate within the confines of our skulls. But what if consciousness is more like a cosmic broadcast, with our brains acting as intricate antennas? This idea isn't just fascinating, it could revolutionize our understanding of what it means to be human. Enter quantum consciousness theories, like the one proposed by physicist Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff. They suggest that consciousness arises from quantum processes within microtubules, tiny structures inside our neurons. These microtubules might be the interface between the classical world of our brains and the quantum realm, where reality becomes fuzzy and interconnected. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if consciousness isn't just a product of quantum events in our brains, but a fundamental property of the universe itself? Imagine consciousness as a non-local field permeating all of space and time. Our brains in this view would be like sophisticated radios tuning into this cosmic consciousness and translating it into our individual experiences. This idea isn't entirely new. Ancient philosophies have long spoken of a universal consciousness or cosmic mind, but now modern science is starting to catch up, providing potential mechanisms for how such a thing could work. Think about it, if consciousness is a field, it could explain phenomena that have long puzzled scientists. Near-death experiences, where people report vivid awareness even when their brains show no activity, the sense of oneness that meditators describe after years of practice, even the bizarre entanglement observed in quantum physics, where particles seem to communicate instantly across vast distances. But if our brains are receivers, where exactly is this signal of consciousness coming from? Is it emanating from some higher dimension beyond the four we can perceive? Or is it woven into the very fabric of space-time, an intrinsic property of the universe like gravity or electromagnetism? These questions lead us to a mind-bending possibility. What if consciousness is the decoder of the universal code? Imagine the universe as a vast tapestry of information, with consciousness as the key that unlocks its meaning. Our individual awareness would be like a unique lens, focusing this cosmic data stream into the reality we experience. This perspective could bridge the gap between the physical world we observe and the inner world of our thoughts and feelings. It might explain how subjective experience arises from objective reality, the hard problem of consciousness that has stumped philosophers for millennia. But let's take a step back and consider the implications. If consciousness is indeed a fundamental field, it would mean that everything in the universe has some degree of awareness. From the tiniest subatomic particle to the largest galaxy, all would be participants in this cosmic dance of consciousness. This isn't to say that rocks or stars think like we do, but it suggests a kind of proto-consciousness pervading all of existence, with complex systems like brains able to tune into and amplify this underlying Awareness, the idea is both beautiful and unsettling. It challenges our notion of individuality, suggesting that our sense of self might be more like a localized eddy in a vast ocean of consciousness. It raises profound questions about free will, the nature of reality, and our place in the cosmos. But how could we possibly test such a theory? This is where cutting-edge research comes in. Scientists are exploring the fringes of quantum biology, looking for signs of quantum coherence in living systems. Others are probing the nature of time and causality, seeking clues to how consciousness might operate outside our normal understanding of physics. Imagine experiments where consciousness itself becomes a measurable field, detected by sensitive instruments, or studies that reveal how our thoughts might influence quantum events, bridging the gap between mind and matter. As we ponder these possibilities, we're left with more questions than answers. If consciousness is a field, can we learn to manipulate it? Could we expand our awareness beyond the limits of our individual brains? Might we one day be able to communicate directly, mind to mind, tapping into this universal network of consciousness? The implications for technology are equally staggering. Could we create artificial systems that tap into this field, giving rise to truly conscious machines? Or develop ways to enhance our own connection to this cosmic consciousness, unlocking latent human potential? As we stand on the brink of these discoveries, we're reminded of how little we truly know. The nature of consciousness remains one of the greatest mysteries in science and philosophy, but with each new theory and experiment, we inch closer to understanding the hidden dimension that might underlie all of existence. So the next time you look up at the stars or gaze into the eyes of a loved one, remember you might be witnessing more than just the physical world. You could be peering into the very essence of consciousness itself, a vast and intricate tapestry of which we are all a part. Why does consciousness feel so personal, yet seem to connect us all? What if the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe lies not in distant galaxies, but in the depths of our own awareness? As we continue to explore these questions, we may find that the greatest frontier isn't out there in space, but within the hidden dimensions of consciousness itself.
Join the MetaCodex journey. Subscribe, share, and expand your reality with us.